Hey everybody, it's Paul from Screenwriting Scribe, and we just got some, I think some, I don't know if it's bad news, but it's bittersweet news. James Earl Jones just passed away today, and I'd just like to take a couple moments and read over this Vanity Fair article that I think does a real good job of seeing his career and stuff like that. So I just wanted to share this brief article with you guys from Vanity Fair. I'll put it in the description below. So James Earl Jones, distinguished actor and voice of Darth Vader, dies at 93. James Earl Jones, a prolific film, TV, and theater actor whose resonance, unmistakable baritone was most likely known as the voice of Star Wars villain Darth Vader, died Monday morning at his home in Dutchess County, New York. His regret confirmed to Variety. He was 93. After overcoming a profound stutterer as a child, Jones established himself as one of the most pioneering black actors of his generation, amassing a bountiful and versatile career spanning over 60 years. From his debut on Broadway in 1958 at the Court Theater, renamed the James Earl Jones Theater in 2022, to his most recent performance in 2021's Coming to America. For that film, Jones reprised his role as King Jaffe Joffer from the 1988 Eddie Murphy comedy Coming to America, one of his several roles along with Darth Vader that Jones revisited, including the voice of King Mustafa in Disney's direct-to-video sequel and the 2019 remake, and a CIA Deputy Director Vice Admiral James Greer in 3 Jack Ryan movies, 1990's The Hunt for Red October, 1992 Patriot Games, and 1994 Clear and Present Danger. Among his more than 80 film roles, Jones' other notable movies include as a B-52 bombardier in Stanley Kubrick's 1964 Cold War satire, Dr. Strangelove, his feature film debut. I didn't know that. I thought that was interesting. As the first black president of the United States in 1972's The Man. As the fearsome villain in 1982's Conan the Barbarian, one of the roles I first remember seeing his face in. As a reclusive author in 1989's Field of Dream. As a blind former baseball star in 1993's The Sandlot. And as a minister living in apartheid South Africa in 1995's Cry the Beloved Country. Jones was nominated for 4 Tony Awards and won 2 in 1969 for playing boxer Jack Johnson in The Great White Hope, which he reprised on film in 1970, receiving his only Oscar nomination. And in 1987 for originating the role of Troy Maxon in August Wilson's Pulitzer Prize-winning drama Fences. He was nominated for 8 Primetime Emmy Awards, winning twice in 1991 for supporting actor in the miniseries Heatwave, and about the 1965 Watts Riot, and for lead actor in the drama series Gabriel's Fire, about a wrongfully imprisoned ex-cop who became a private detective. It was the first time an actor won 2 Emmys in the same year. Awesome, James. Awesome. Jones received a Kennedy Award Center in 2002, the Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement Award in 2009, an Honorary Academy Award in 2011, and a Lifetime Achievement Tony Award in 2017. His Grammy Award in 1977 for spoken word album makes Jones only one of a handful of actors to receive an EGOT. Jones' looming yet ultimate offendable presence and rich speaking voice made him a natural for Shakespeare. I can see that. He played some of the great roles such as Macbeth and Othello for Joseph Papp's American Shakespeare Festival. Jones narrated several documentaries from 1972 Malcolm X to the 2007 Disney nature doc Earth. And famously, he intoned the tagline, "This is CNN," for the cable news channel. His television credits, which numbered over 70, included many movies and miniseries such as Roots and the Atlanta Child Murders, recurring roles on LA Law, Homicide: Life on the Street, and Everwood, and guest roles on shows like The Simpsons, Picket Fences, Law & Order, Frasier, and House. As for his most famous roles, Jones was paid only $7,000 to lend his voice to Darth Vader in 1977's A Star Wars: A New Hope, but he declined screen credit for the film and its sequel, 1980's Empire Strikes Back, out of deference to the actor who played the role on screen, David Prowse. By 1983, Return of the Jedi, however, Jones has become fully synonymous with one of the most memorable and terrifying villains in cinema history and received credit for his work. He returned to play Darth Vader's voice again for 2005's Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and 2016 Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. But for the 2022 series Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jones instead authorized Lucasfilm to use archive recording and AI technology to recreate Vader's voice. When asked in 2014 by the New York Times about how he kept his career Alive for so long, Jones' response evoked the kind of plain-spoken humility that he had so often brought to his performances as well. The secret is never forgetting that you're a journeyman actor and that nothing is your final thing. Nothing is your greatest thing. Nothing is your worst thing, Jones says. I consider myself a novice. James Earl Jones was born in 1931 on a farm in Mississippi. His father, Robert Earl Jones, left home soon after to pursue his own acting career. The two more or less reconciled when the younger Jones was in his 20s, and they even performed together. When Jones was 5, he moved with his maternal grandparents to Michigan. The shock of the relocation induced a stammer so severe that he often could only communicate in writing. It wasn't until high school when he started to overcome his stutter, when his English teacher, upon hearing that Jones composed poetry, encouraged him to read his writing aloud to the class. As an undergraduate student at the University of Michigan, Jones initially set out to study medicine, but wound up more interested in drama. His first stage role was a small part in the 1957 off-Broadway production Wedding in Japan. He took side jobs to supplement occasional theater work in Broadway's Sunrise at Campolino, The Cool World, and The Pretender. He also appeared in Summer Stock. In 1960, Jones joined Pop's New Shakespeare Festival. The following year, he made his first serious impact in the landmark off-Broadway production of Jean Yeats' The Blacks as the protagonist, Diodontus. Afterwards, for Papa, he played Oberon in A Midnight Summer's Dream. The first of many heralded Shakespeare's turns, his masterful 1964 performance as Othello for Pop was moved off-Broadway, where the production ran for almost a year. Jones' first break in the cinema came by way of Pop's production of The Merchant of Venice, in which Jones played the Prince of Morocco to George C. Scott's Shylock. When Stanley Kubrick came to see Scott, whom he was considering for one of the leads in Dr. Strangelove, the film director was so impressed that he cast Jones in the film too. In 1966, Jones had the title role in Macbeth at the New York Shakespeare Festival, again to great acclaim. He also booked a recurring role as the World Turns in 1966, marking the first time a black actor had a continuing role in a daytime soap opera. Still, he had almost one of Broadway's best-kept secrets until 1968 in Howard Sachs' The Great White Hope as Jack Johnson, the first black man to win the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship. The Tony, the acclaim and its timing in the late 1960s propelled Jones into the spotlight at a time when it was difficult for black actors to secure quality roles. But the actor, however, had said that the accolades he received for both the play and its film adaptations did not do that much for his career. It wasn't until 1977, when Jones voiced terrified audiences for the first time as Darth Vader, that things truly began to shift for him. That year, Jones also appeared in ABC Roots, playing the author Alex Haley, whose genealogical novel of the same title inspired the groundbreaking miniseries. He never quite became an outright star in the classic sense of the word, but the back-to-back successes that year did ultimately make Jones a household name, whose presence connotated a stature and gravitas to projects that might otherwise be lacking. Theaters were, as Jones most frequently was, a box office draw in his own right, and well into his 80s. He returned to Broadway in 2005 for a production of On Golden Pond, opposite Leslie Ugames, drawing another Tony nomination in 2008. He played Big Daddy in a production of Tennessee Williams' Cat on a Hot Tin Roof that featured an all-black cast, including Terrence Howard, Anika Nunn-Rosa, and Felicia Rashad. 2 years later, he returned to Broadway in a revival of Driving Miss Daisy opposite Vanessa Redgrave. The production moved to London in 2011, meant he had to miss the honorary Oscar ceremony in Los Angeles. Instead, Sir Ben Kingsley surprised Jones with his statuette in person after he concluded a matinee performance of the show. That would have been awesome to see. Jones was first married to actress-singer Julia Marie, his second wife of 34 years. Actress Cecily Hart died in 2016. He is survived by his son, Flynn Earl Jones. So, just wanted to give you guys an update of that. We lost a great actor and a great human being. Just to keep his family in your thoughts and prayers. Will you all take care? And again, I'll link that article below so you can read it at your time. But again, we've lost a great actor, a great human being, James Earl Jones.